Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, July 31st, 2021. The fire potential impacts for the next couple of days include some pretty good monsoonal moisture and showers and thunderstorms across much of the geographic area today and tomorrow. And then on Monday, we'll start to see some drying move in from the west. Smoke has decreased quite a bit across even the northern half of the Great Basin as southerly flow has brought an increase in showers and thunderstorms to the area. There is still some smoke over western Nevada. Yesterday was a very active day with thunderstorms across many areas of the geographic area, including some heavy storms over northeast Nevada and over some of the higher elevations of eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. We'll see these storms once again today and expanding further north and west. Fire activity remains steady. There's quite a bit of initial attack with all that increased lightning in the area. Because the thunderstorms have been on the wet side, many of these fires are staying small, but the initial attack is steady. Precipitation for the past 14 days is shown here with the observed amounts on the left and the percent of normal on the right. We've been in a really good monsoonal flow for the last couple of weeks with above normal precip over Utah, much of Utah anyway, and southern Nevada. This has led to decreasing ERCs for much of Utah and southern Nevada. ERCs are on the downward trend further north as well, and we'll see them continue to decrease over the next couple of days. A closer look at the ERCs do show that even in some of the areas where it's been very dry and near record, including far western Wyoming, those values have dropped dramatically over the last couple of days as moisture has reached those areas. Along the Sierra front, ERCs have been coming down over the last week to 10 days as well. This morning's satellite imagery is showing good monsoonal moisture continuing to surge northward through the Great Basin, and today we'll even see some storms make it in further west and north. So for this afternoon, we do expect to see widespread showers and thunderstorms across much of the geographic area, including storms moving up into central and northern Nevada and western Idaho, where conditions have been drier. So for a closer look at where that precipitation is expected today, of course, Utah, western Wyoming, Nevada, and up into the central Idaho mountains, including western Idaho. That's really the big change here where it has been on the drier side over there. Maximum temperatures for today are down, are cooler anyway than what we had been. We have been seeing kind of that downward trend. So highs in the 80s to low 90s across the valleys. On Sunday, another round of showers and thunderstorms is expected, particularly over the central and eastern half of the geographic area as some drier air begins to move into far western Nevada. Our dryness levels are going to be moving pretty much all into the green by Sunday as that moisture moves further northward. So closer look at the precip for Sunday. Still a pretty good active day across much of the geographic area. Late in the day, we'll see some drying in the west. Minimum relative humidities are very high, with the minimums in the 20s to 30s. A pretty good moist atmosphere. On Monday, we'll begin to see some drier air continuing to push further eastward into the Great Basin from the west, with decreasing thunderstorm activity across the west. Probability of precipitation is shown here on the left. Best chance for precip is going to be over the central and eastern half of the geographic area, especially over the higher elevations. We can see the probability for precip really decreasing dramatically over Nevada by Monday, with minimum relative humidities dropping back down into the teens in that area. 3-day precip totals show a really significant amount of precip moving up into the central Idaho mountains. That's today into tomorrow. Continuing over western Wyoming as well, and the higher elevations of Utah. So pretty wet couple of days we're still expecting today and tomorrow especially. By Tuesday, really significantly decreasing thunderstorm activity across the region with drier air moving in under that high pressure and warming temperatures. It will take a few days for the dryness levels to really dry back out after all of this precipitation, especially further east. The western areas will dry out quicker. On Wednesday, there is a little trough moving into the Pacific Northwest, which will increase precipitation up there. Probably won't bring too much into the Great Basin, but could continue to bring some dry, breezy air mass into the Great Basin. And on Thursday, as that little low tracks across the northern Rockies, may clip central Idaho Mountains for a slight chance of precip there, and bringing some breezy winds to the central half of the Great Basin. And on Friday, that troughiness remains in place over the Pacific Northwest, keeping dry westerly flow in place over much of the Great Basin. You can see by next week, by the second half of next week, our dryness levels are returning to yellows and browns across the northern half of the geographic area. Further south, even with that drying, it will take a little bit longer for the vegetation to recover and be ready to carry large fires once again. 7-day precip totals shown here, really highlighting the precip we're expecting in the short term today and tomorrow across the north, but possibly a few more showers are coming to the central Idaho Mountains next week with that trough moving through the Pacific Northwest. The extended forecast for the second week of August puts us in near normal temperatures, maybe a little bit warmer over Utah and Nevada, and below normal chances for precipitation. It does look like there's above normal chance over the Pacific Northwest with some troughs moving in there, which may clip the central Idaho Mountains. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.